Okay, folks, we are doing a fight between the four races on this wildly unbalanced map. Okay, so now we're started, now that we have these all started off. So we got the elves down here, the orcs at the bottom left of the top area, dwarves at the top right, because I thought they'd do better with all the rocks. And then we got the humans up here. Okay, so let's just turn it on sonic speed for a bit to get them developed so that we can see things start to happen. Okay, and I've turned sonic speed off. It looks like the orcs are developing really quickly, and for some reason their king is running all the way down here. But if they want to go and attack the elves, they're gonna have to say good luck, because they're going to have to get through all of these little things. And this does look like an actual army, but not a very strong one at that. They're carrying sticks and things like that, but the orcs are very physically strong. They're probably going to kill these animals, but not make it much further from there. So I turned on this new one, plans and plots icon. So apparently there's a plan in place either from the elves or from the orcs to attack the elves, and the dwarves also have a plot going on. And the dwarves are making really good use of these stones, it seems, because the stones are disappearing, so they might actually make some distance with that. But these orcs have another village already, and they are expanding terrifically, which honestly I thought they were going to have the hardest time. I thought they were going to try to expand into the savannah, and they have not tried to do that. The elves also have another village, and so I'm thinking the elves are going to have a really good chance here, because they already made it across the desert in the middle here. So that's going to matter a lot. I'm going to speed this up real quick until we see a war or something. And now there's an active war. The elves have decided to go to war with the orcs, and the elves already expanded to the other side of the map. So I think the elves are probably going to make some progress here, but then the orcs are going to overall win on this, because the elves made the first move and they have bows. So they should be a little bit stronger, but orcs are physically strong. So as soon as the orc army gets over here, the elves are going to have a really hard time. And now it's also looking like the humans are attacking the dwarves, which is just not going to go well for them. And here's the fight. Ooh. But here's the big elf army. We'll see if that pushes them back. And the orcs would have a really hard time getting through here, because the elves don't fight with the wildlife, so they have some natural terrain advantage, because the orcs would have to go through here, fight through the wildlife to attack the elves directly. It looks like the orcs cut off their top little village, which is really going to set them back. Now, the humans and the dwarves over here, the humans are actually doing really well. I don't know where the dwarf army is. Oh, they're over here fighting the orcs. Everyone's at war. So the dwarves are preoccupied, and the humans are just destroying their whole village while they're preoccupied, even though the humans are really weak. Now the elves are kind of just staying here. They're kind of killing off this one orc, but the orcs look like they're getting hurt the most out of everyone here, because they're getting attacked by everyone really at the same time, and they are just getting hammered. Now we have an army going over to the elves, it looks like, but once again they have that natural defense over there. Ooh, and a tornado coming through. Doesn't seem to actually have killed much of anyone. The tornadoes kind of just pick people up and set them back down, so not that dangerous of a natural disaster. The orcs are making it in. It looks like they've gotten through the wildlife. The orcs are strong enough to do that at this point, and they destroyed a couple houses, but they're not making it too far. The elves are not defenseless over here. They do have an army on them. Looks like the humans cleared some land out for themselves, and now they're really just going to take back some land, but it looks like the dwarves are actually attacking them now. The elves are sending a party from over on the right side over to the orcs as well, so we'll see what happens there. And the orcs also have a tornado hit, if things just weren't going bad enough for them already. Now, it looks like the orcs have really won this war overall. They cut the elves off out of the savannah, and now the elves are hindered greatly. And now the orcs are fighting the dwarves as well. Ground is shaking. I think that means we have an earthquake coming. The orcs are really just showing their war prowess here, because they went to war with almost everyone, and they just destroyed them. And there's the shaking. It is a meteorite. Meteorite for them, it may have hurt them there, but it actually gives them adamantite, and especially because these are the dwarves who I've given all sorts of other minerals, they might actually use that, and that might be a comeback for them. But it is looking like the orcs are probably going to win this one unless everyone teams up on them, because they're just expanding in every direction. The savannah's kind of cleared out of natural mobs. They're expanding north of the elves, and the elves are cut off by the dwarves on the east. So they're just going to take this bottom right corner, it looks like, and then have to go to war with someone. A mage wandered into the world. The mages and the orcs. That's good. They probably needed to be set back a bit. We'll see what happens. It looks like they killed him already, though, which means someone took a staff. There he is, Desolate Jerry. And it is a legendary weapon created 13 years ago. Now, if this guy goes to war, he is going to absolutely annihilate the other nations with this. The dwarves are really coming along, and I want to see if the dwarf king, he just has a wooden weapon still, even though they have all of these ores. What is happening here? This guy's a miner. He doesn't really have anything. The dwarves just really have not been using those resources yet. Maybe they need to develop more first. The dwarves are going to war against the humans, and the orcs are going to war against the dwarves. So I would bet the dwarves get set back a lot here. The elves are also going to war against the dwarves. So everyone versus the dwarves right now. And their king just died. They put up a new king, and they're just gonna get squashed right here. And the orcs are also fighting down here. Ooh, and we have the guy with the fire staff here just hitting them from across the river. Did he die? If he died and the elves get that fire staff, that's a big win for them. The elves actually got a colony up here in the north, which is really good for them. They're going to have a chance to actually grow up here. But they're still at war with these orcs, and so there's not a high chance that that lasts. And the orcs are actually destroying their main village. Now, they have another couple lines, but they don't really have much armies left. So they're going to have a really hard time defending themselves. And it looks like the guy with the fire staff is somewhere around here. There he is. Oh, it's just another mage, actually. So the elves are probably done for here. They got a supernatural event here with this evil mage coming in when they were already dying to the orcs. And they are just not having a good time. This guy's going to keep leveling up and healing himself as well, as along with his regeneration, and the elves are not strong enough to fight him. The dwarves are still at war with the humans, and the humans haven't seemed to do much to them yet, even though they have like these armies in here, because their population is all down here still. The orcs had already run through here, and now the orcs are coming over here. The orcs are getting into their actual village. The dwarves and the elves are probably going to die here, and that's just going to be the orcs and the humans. And the humans have not been expanding the way they need to. The orcs are probably going to win. Dwarves are completely wiped out from this northeast part, but they set up a little village down here actually where there's a couple of them, and we'll see if they actually make it any further, but they just decided to bail out on that, except for their king up here, who just went on back and he's like, yeah, let's just do this, guys. Let's rebuild. He has these houses to rebuild, so he has something, but the chances of them coming back from this are very low. No one is completely down and out yet, but the orcs have a strong lead, and they would need to go to war with the humans for the other two races to get some time again. So the humans want to go to war with the dwarves here, and it looks like this orc is one of the ones with the evil staff. He got an evil staff from killing one of those mages, and he is allied with the humans and just helping them take out the dwarves over here. The dwarves are almost certainly all dead at this point. You got their last leader over here dying. Their leader is a child. I'm pretty sure their king is this child as well. The dwarves were completely eliminated. Now, the elves are probably going to go next because the humans and the orcs have been allied for much of this game. So they're probably going to team up, get rid of the elves, and then they're going to go back to it. The humans doing a lot better job of expanding here because they've got a lot more open land connected to their area. So we'll see if that actually helps them out at all. Oh. And now the orcs and the humans went to battle, and the orcs already destroyed their original buildings, which is not good for the humans. The humans do still have armies to protect themselves with, but they are just not in the right spots to actually attack the orcs. And the orcs set their armies in some good spots to really hurt the humans and then just fell back. The humans tried to attack the orcs' little settlement down here, but that did not work out for them. And it looks like the elves are being completely wiped out by the orcs at this point, so chances are elves are done here. Yep, all they've got left is this little boat, and it doesn't even look like it has population left on it, so it's just the humans versus the orcs, and we know how this is gonna go. Let's just speed it up. Humans losing all their population. And there they go. Now the orcs have won. Even though I thought I gave them the hardest starting spot, the orcs just seem to prevail every time. They're just so strong.